Well, now that that's over, I can officially say this is the first episode of 2024. Welcome back. It's so exciting to be back on Sh4d0wCraft. Now, kind of getting straight into things, that view is lovely, by the way. When I started the challenge of the farms, I actually made a legally binding document. I solemnly declare that by the degree of one Shadow J Dragon, to swear that I will uphold the promise of a colossal challenge, by which one must create thy farm in order to gaineth thou item and block, each and every. By the time upon which such task is completed, uphold such a promise for updates which are yet to come. What? We're going to head inside because it's raining, I don't want to get attacked, and the house is different, but I'll explain that in a minute. Now, while we're here in the house, you may notice that everything is slightly darker, shattered. You could almost say corrupted. And if you want to know why, you really need to watch the Solstice episode, which explains pretty much everything up to a certain point, and is an existing storyline that's still being, well, written, but also unwritten. But anyway, in terms of the farms and jumping right back in, a while ago I built a honey/bee farm on a stream, and it turns out it doesn't actually work, so I'm going to design one myself and then go and build it in the end or the nether, because bees actually don't sleep there, which is super helpful, which means they work all the time. I've actually designed one already, which is super efficient and easy to build. It's not highly resourceful, but I will need to breed up quite a lot of bees, which is why I'm going to use a technique that I don't know how many people know about, but essentially you grow any sapling, I think it's a birch, an oak, or an acacia, next to a flower, and you bone meal it, and there's a chance that you will grow a bee nest on the side of that tree with bees in it, which you can then breed up and then spread and make beehives and spread into like a bee colony. But I am running pretty low on wood, so I'm probably going to head over to the farms island and grab some. And then I probably also need to go to the flowers biome as well, just to grab some flowers to breed up the bees and also make the actual bee nests, because I don't have a whole load in the chests here. Actually, yeah, a quick pit stop on the way. So this thing here, you may be wondering what it is. And if you're around when I built the Kids in Need sort of icon thing with the Pudsey Bear, I actually have to build an infinity room floor, and this is what I use to make that map. It's all snow that I built with the snow farm I had back in the base, which took absolutely ages, but it was worth it. And now I can create pretty much white maps. And I do actually want to do some map art in the future. That is a lovely view, by the way. That could be a thumbnail. But anyway, more to the task at hand. Right, let's go. Right, yes, so coming over to the Farmer's Island where I'm going to harvest this wood. Some time has passed, but I think we're probably going to head over to the spruce farm just as it's going to be easiest to harvest. Because it is a manual one, to be honest. Well, it's semi-auto because I have all the trees up top, which I mine myself, and any bits that fall down or that I chuck down go into these chests underneath. And I don't believe that I've showed any of you the interiors of these rooms, so I guess I can do that at some point. But this is going to be another jump cut or another time lapse because I need to gather all of this really fast for you guys, but for me it's going to take a little while longer. Anyway, with all that chopped down, we can actually head in here. Yes, this is one of the rooms in the wood farms, and this is the spruce one. There is a variety of others that I might show you at some point. Probably won't be in this episode just because we are trying to get some stuff done. But yeah, this is all my design. This is straight out of my head. I drew up some concepts on paper. I wanted it kind of to look like a barn, but also really incorporate the spruce. There's no other wood here except the spruce wood. And it is what I've tried to do for every farm. I've tried to make some patterns with what I have as well, and I think it just looks really cool. But I do just need to come over to the crafting table here to craft up some powered rails and some normal rails, because the farm design that I've come up with essentially pushes the player around while they collect the honey and honeycomb. But now that we're all done here, we've got all our rails and everything, there's one last stop we need to go to, which is the flower forest, which isn't actually too far away, so I'll see you all there. Flower forest. Right, this is a beautiful biome, by the way. It's got such a variety, and this one that I've found is actually quite flat, which means it's going to be great for building in the future, and also I can't wait to actually see what comes out of it. So as it turns out, I already have bone meal here, stacks and stacks of it, but a little extra never hurt anyone. Also, these Tutor flower farms absolutely churn through bone meal, but every piece is accounted for, and they're super easy to build. I think I did a tutorial already, but if you haven't seen it, obviously it's on the channel. It should be quite easy to find. Basically, you chuck the bone meal in the back of the dispenser here, and it just fires out into the flower. It's kind of a broken farm, but you just get absolutely loads of flowers, because for every one bone meal that you put in, you get one flower back out, which means if you put a stack of bone meal in, you'd get a stack of flowers back out. But I might actually AFK for a bit, because this is going to take quite a while for the amount of flowers I need to get. Now, obviously, because that farm is so fast, I was only there for about half an hour, which isn't too bad. And now what we've got to do is place down a flower next to a sapling, grow a tree, and hopefully get a bee's nest. We didn't on that one. I'm going to keep trying until we do. That didn't take long at all. It usually takes a lot longer. But I guess the old saying's true. Third time's a charm. So I did try a couple more, I had no luck. I've just been waiting for these guys to go back in with their honey, and I can now mine this with Silk Touch. You don't need a campfire to break them. That also now has the bees inside it. I'm going to breed them up in a place, make some more, make some bee hives, and hopefully get a whole bee colony going. But we're going to need to head back. So as you can see, I've set up a nice little cozy home for them here next to the old murals with a campfire underneath, which means I can get the honeycomb out of it with the shears without actually angering the bees. And I'm basically going to sit here and do this for about half an hour, I guess. Again, just so I can get enough to make enough beehives, move it somewhere else, and actually really start breeding the bees up and getting a lot out of it. But I do just need to chuck some flowers down so they can actually get the pollen and turn it into honey. It's actually quite accurate to real life. Obviously it takes longer, but actually, yeah, the smoking of the bees is quite accurate to real life as well, because you have to smoke bees in real life to get the honey to calm them down. So yeah. So that's the first pot of honey now done. I've just basically sheared off the honeycomb, which you can then use with wood to turn into beehives, which is what I'm basically going to do over and over and over again. So I've actually found the perfect little place to put this all down. We're inside the ore tower. What better place to be be honest. I put some flowers down up there so they can access them to get the pollen and then turn it into honey. And basically I'm just going to chuck a couple more down every now and then once I breed the bees up and grow the babies up with the flower. And fun fact, the babies can actually grab pollen themselves and turn it into honey, which makes production a whole lot better. And I'll basically update you every now and then just to see where we are. So after 5 to 10 minutes, I put a load more flowers in and I've managed to get one more beehive. And this is about 2 hours and a half. Obviously, the more you build up, the faster the honey gets produced, which means I can make more and more beehives. I don't know exactly how many are here, but basically I'm going to wait till night time until they're all in their places, mine them all away and then transfer them to the end or the nether. I haven't really decided where I'm going to build the farm. Right, it's night time now, which means I can finally move all the bees. I believe there is 3 in each one, so we have actually got quite a lot here. And you want to mine them with Silk Touch, otherwise you're going to get a lot of a lot of angry bees on you, which is never a good thing. And with the last ones finally put away, we can finally break... What the hell? Is that happened to other people? I'm a bit confused about that. We are going to head inside because I don't want to get attacked and lose all my stuff, but what? I just phased through the block. I mean, it's not the weirdest thing that's ever happened here, but still, it's pretty weird. Anyway, we're gonna hop into bed. Just need to mine this, and then yeah, we're gonna sleep through the night. As you can see, I've made my way over using the Nether Highway, which now allows me to go everywhere and anywhere whenever I want. Again, that's a video on the channel. Would really consider checking out because it took ages. And now I've just got to hop over the fence. Gotta hop over the fence. Gotta hop over the fence. Villager, hop over the fence. Sugarcane. Villager, hop over the fence. Hoppity hop over the fence. Gotta hop over the fence. Oh look, there's a villager. Hop. This isn't funny anymore. This is really doing my head in. Gotta hop over the fence. Yes, I've got to hop. Heavily hop over the fence. There's a villager! There should also be a hole around here somewhere leading down to the end portal. I think it goes directly down. Unless I might be imagining it because I can't find it anywhere. Was it? No, it wasn't under there. I built it down by this. I think I might have just been imagining it. No, actually, no, you know what? I did build a hole, but it was inside the farm, so I've got to hop over the fence. Got to hop over the fence. Yeah. Here we go. Yep, this is the way down. I'll meet you down there, but we're basically going to go to the end and build a bee farm. And I've actually always got a bed here in case I die in the end and I need to get back quickly. It's something you really should do because it is so helpful, especially when you're fighting the Ender Dragon. Right, so I've been here for a while just trying to get pearls. Yes, right. Basically, we need these to go ahead and get through the end gateway, which is where we're going to build the bee farm. Right, there is one specific spot that I've scouted out on a copy, which I think is actually going to work really well, and we're here. Yep, this is the first end city I think I ever raided, and it's going to be super duper useful because we're going to build the bee farm right smack down on the top of here where it's nice and flat. Just going to chuck down my stuff and now get started. But now that that's all done, there's actually just one more thing we need to do, which is chuck in the minecart, which is going to allow us to move around the farm and grab all our honeycomb and deer honey. Yep, it's just that simple, and this is what I meant by these semi-auto designs. So obviously some drops do fall out the back, which is why I might eventually put hoppers in at some point to go into a chest. But as you can see, I've got all my internal storage on the top. Basically, this is a super fast, easy and efficient, low material honey farm. Which, by the way, is actually planned to be the first of many. See, every tower here I want to turn into its own honey farm, so I'm literally just going to be churning out. This is going to be honey central. I could even make it its own mega base, really, which would be really cool at some point. And I do actually want to build like a massive pixel art bee or a beehive around this thing just to show that it is actually a honey farm. Could do that in a stream, to be honest. And if you want to see me stream, then head over to twitch.tv/ShadowDragon58 because I could even be live right now. So yeah, pretty much just coming back through here, it is essentially done. I can run through here without the minecart as well, with bottles and shears, grab honeycomb and honey, and it's just amazing. But we're not actually entirely done here yet. Yes, that's right, we're building another farm, but we have to head back to the overworld for that. So I'll see you over there. Right, now that we're back, but before we do anything else, there is one thing I want to do. I did actually bring something back with me, being a honey block, and I want to kind of find a special place to put this, because it's the first ever honey block I believe I've ever crafted in Minecraft at all. I don't think I've ever made honey at all before, in survival at least. So yeah, it's quite a big occasion for me. And I do believe I have found the perfect spot. These are pancakes I made for Pancake Day in 2021 and 2022. I kind of updated the build and it just fits perfectly with the syrup, to be honest. And well, honey kind of similar to syrup. But yeah, I think this is the right place for it and I'm really, really happy. But now we must move on to the second pièce de la résistance, just after a short honey break. Yes, so swiftly moving on, let's get to the other farm. So yes, next up is a kelp farm, and I'm actually planning to build a non-bone meal design one, where a flying machine basically crushes everything and I get stacks and stonks of stuff that float up to the surface because I'm going to build it underwater, which is going to be absolute pain because of the drowned. But once all of those stacks are in my inventory, I can actually go over to the super smelter and turn them into fuel because they come out as dried kelp, which you can then use as fuel. And I'm actually building it over at the farms island because the theme there is to build farms that don't use mobs but have this sort of renewable resource. And if you're wondering why we're here, then this actually leads to a froglet farm which I built quite a while ago inside a bastion because I need lighting for the underwater parts of the farm. I mean, the logistics of this thing are pretty simple. There are frogs down the bottom here underneath powdered snow which slowly kills the bigger magma cubes. They eat the small ones and spit out the frog lights, and the magma cubes spawn up here, fall down and essentially jump in there because there is an iron golem behind these bars over here which they see and immediately go to try and attack, but they fall down the hole. So the design of this farm is actually by someone called Silent Whisperer, and they are absolutely great at redstone and tutorials and sort of mechanics on the game, and it's where I usually go for sort of more technical farms. But I might just go AFK for a bit because although this farm is quite efficient, it's also quite slow. So now with about a stack and a half in hand, we're going to head back and grab all the other stuff we need and then get building. So I do definitely know that we need slime because we're going to be building an underwater flying machine, a submarine if you will. And I don't actually have a slime farm, but I do have a decent amount. Most of it's been converted into blocks, but it's actually because my base, I've looked on Chuck Base, I don't know how rare this is built on top of 4 slime chunks in a square together, which is mad because the mine I have underneath expands for miles. Anyway, I do believe that is everything. Now I've just got to fly over and actually find a specific spot because I haven't picked one out yet. So I'm actually thinking this place here is a nice deep river, not too many drowns, there's plenty full ores, there's a cave over there that I can build into. This looks absolutely perfect. And yeah, it's literally right next to everything else. So at some point I can build some piers or maybe even build up to the tower or the other bits with some sort of road. So actually just jumping out the water here, I've just noticed how cool this really looks, like behind the trees and stuff. And this is a project that's still in the works for something that's been going for absolutely ages, and it's actually part of one of the colossal challenges. But to be completely honest, yeah, if you've made it this far through the video, then you probably should like and subscribe. You won't miss out on any future content, and it's also amazing motivation and support for me to keep going, to keep doing stuff, to go bigger and better every time. And it just really shows that you like the content. And one of the other things I absolutely love is feedback, comments, sort of constructive criticism. What do you want to see next? What could I do better? What did you really like about the video? And to be honest, we're on the road to 500 subs, so that would be absolutely amazing. But finally getting to work, I did actually make some water breathing potions in there. It's just like a little place I can go when I need to breathe if they run out and actually get more. I've actually just got to keep watching out for drowns as well. But I basically got to go all the way across this thing. It's 40 by 13 and put light blocks just all the way down the middle. And those are the last couple of blocks. So now all we need to do is basically build some underwater kind of like warehouses that the flying machine is going to sit in and be activated from. Another one at the other end for a relay to send it back because it's automated. And then put all the kelp in as well so we can actually get this thing going. Right, now that this side is all done, we basically just need to chuck in some glass and then some leaves underneath so that the flying machine can go through. And also we block off the water but can still see out. I'm using lime because it kind of fits the theme of the farm.
A few moments later.
So yes, that part is now done. And I did use that meme because we're underwater. If you get a reference, you get a reference. No! God! Right, now it's the flying machine, the hard bit. Hi, editing Shadow here. So this next bit you're about to see, where I build the flying machine, was extremely painful to do because it kept breaking because of the water updates. It kept sort of breaking the redstones well where the water floods in. So I had to keep rebuilding it over and over and over again. I finally made some changes and then it broke again. So we're basically going to speed this thing up for you and hopefully it's not as painful. And now that I've finally got this thing working, built it over 5 times, I'm really hoping it works, because otherwise this is gonna be me. So I thought I might come up here to get a bit of a better view now that the actual farm's done, and I've got to say it does look pretty damn cool. And like the bee farm in the end, this is probably only going to be the first of many. I mean, kind of the only reason I really need to build more is if I really needed some sort of fuel source, or if I was doing like green gradients and actually using kelp as some sort of building block, because it actually looks quite good as like a stack of money. So I did actually tell a tiny lie, as where I've been going off track, I've actually been collecting kelp, as you can see, which I'm going to plant in the farm and let grow, let the flying machine go right across, we're going to harvest it all and get stonks and stonks of it. I am also just realising I've never really shot this angle in the water before, and it honestly looks quite cool. Could make some pretty good thumbnails and artworks if I use them for reference. It also kind of reminds me of that scene from The Meg where they're just swimming through the water with their mouths open, kind of like sucking everything in. And also that begs the question, when I'm picking it up, is it going in my mouth? Like where is storage? Because you don't carry around a backpack. Do you just like, is it like inside? You know what, I could make a video game character physiology theory video. I mean, I've done ones in the past where I've done like Minecraft dimensions theory, and I've actually got a bunch more lined up at some point. But yeah, I think definitely physiology of character in video games would be a really cool concept. Anyway, now jumping back to the task at hand, we're going to go ahead and plant all this kelp in a nice, neat time lapse, just because, I mean, why the hell not? And that is one of the most efficient, if not the best, bone mill-less kelp farms in the game, completely finished. And I guess, to be honest, one of the last things I can show you is this little cave base here, and no bull. This is genuinely how much you get from this farm. It is absolutely mad. It's kind of broken and it goes back and forth. And to be honest, I don't have a collection system. I kind of just go out on a boat and collect everything. And I do also have, funnily enough, a lever set up in the cave that you can turn on the farm with, which is super duper helpful. So for some insanely odd reason, the game did decide to crash when I turned it on. I've just managed to turn it off just now, and all of the stuff is now on the surface, and this is only going to add to the lag that already engulfs the island because of the mass amount of farms and drops and villagers. It's going to add a whole lot to it, and it adds a whole new personality because we actually now have a water-based farm, which is amazing. And again, just going through here with my boat, picking up all this kelp. Probably gonna have to do like 2 or 3 runs just because there is so much, and then at some point I can smelt it down into fuel. And once again, if you're loving the video and liking the content, then please do like and subscribe. Now, in terms of the way that the redstone works for this lever to actually access the farm, it's one of the oldest techniques in the game for moving parts, which is essentially sticky piston, slime blocks and redstone blocks on the end that then get pushed into other pistons, which activate 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 your farms. Can someone put a beat under that and remix it? I feel like that would sound quite cool. But kind of rounding stuff up here, there's not really too much left to do today, except possibly one thing. And again, about the house from the beginning, there is an episode that I made sort of starting in 2024, like an in-depth sort of explanation of ambitions and continuing storylines, where I sort of explain certain things, and I think that video will kind of really help you to understand kind of what's going on. And the one prior to that will actually give a lot of explanation towards character development and how storylines are going and sort of the unwritten law of the world. It was an amazing project that I worked on for honestly quite a while with some friends, and we actually shot it like a movie, and honestly, for the time we had to do it in, it actually turned out amazing. And now for that very last thing to actually end the episode, it's something I've been wanting to do since the house got changed, which is try to absorb the energy and hopefully disperse it somewhere else. I don't know if it's going to stay contained within me properly, or if it may make me unstable. We're just going to get ready here, do some warm-ups, do some jumping jacks, really get ready for this, because it is not going to be comfortable at all. And as some of you will know, if you've been here for a while, I have absorbed energy before and it has not really turned out well. But this time I'm really, really hoping I can control it, and hopefully, really, really I hope that I can do it. Wait, what? No, it didn't work. Oh no, this is bad. I am actually kind of afraid to step outside now, because what if it's spread? What if it's spread further? Also, something feels off. Something doesn't feel right. Yeah, I'm really terrified to step outside. I can't see any changes, but yes, still don't fancy my chances, and I possibly might wait till next time, probably, to do that, just because I don't physically know what is manifesting out. Why do I have hair? What? Why have I got hair? I've got hair. Oh no, I haven't got an eyes and a mouth. Oh, thank God. Oh, I got really scared there for a second. I thought I had an eyes for a mouth. I thought I had eyes and a mouth. That got me really scared for a second. Thank God I don't. I do have this. What's this black thing on my neck? My t-shirt's still here. My crystals were still here, but I've had them since the first accident. But the hair, that's new. Where's my goo? All my goo's gone. Oh yeah, all my goo's gone. Where? Oh no. That's not. I wonder if rather than dispersing the energy, I've dispersed the energy within myself, only making things worse. and I fear there is darker things to come.
No! God, please, no! No!
What should we go for? I mean, it is a new year after all, so let's try something different. No, yeah, I'm gonna actually, you know what? I think I'm confident with this one. Yeah, so something I've been wanting to do since the start of 2024 is get a new skin, and it's something I want to do every year from now on. There is a way to do it, you can get custom ones, but I've actually decided to fall back on vanilla, because I did end up designing a custom one, but it didn't really work out. So we're going to try and use vanilla features. I've also found out how to transfer mine coins now, as well as you can actually buy stuff in the store, which is terrific because there's some parts that are really going to fit the character as it develops throughout the year and onwards. As you can see, I have hair now, which is quite strange. I've never had hair on any of my avatars. It's really, really weird. But everything else is pretty much the same, except all my goo is gone as well. Once again, if you want to catch me live, head over to twitch.tv/ShadowDragon58. I could even be live right now. Also, don't forget to check out my socials for exclusive stuff that you probably won't see on the channel. See ya! Anyway, thanks so much. I'll see you soon, and goodbye.